to the from 9. This one is a tag from Markvergeer or something like that. Basically, Mark with probably a made-up name on the back. It might be a surname, I don't know. But here's his mobile phones. Are they a blessing or a curse? It's hard to say really, because I'm not a big mobile phone fanatic. I mean, this one my mum forced me to upgrade to. I said upgrade, it's kind of, well, it's off at the moment. The reason for it being off at the moment is it was ringing last night, around 5-ish, 60 time. 6 was going out for dinner. All of us, because we decided we were going to go to Nando's at 6. We all fell asleep, and basically it kept ringing and waking me up. So I just picked it up, launched it across the room to where it landed in a dirty pile of washing down there. Rang away some more, and in the end the battery just gave up on it, and now it's being charged and it's really going. It's one of those things. Mobile phones are the worst way to contact me. I can't remember numbers for love or money. The only number I know off by heart is for Hastings Direct, and that's because they put a little theme to it. 08 0800 00 1066. Utterly pointless number to know. This is actually the second phone. The first one died, then it was onto the Sony Ericsson, which is what I was forced to upgrade from. Otherwise I'd still be, well, using that. I don't use any of the fancy features on them. It's kind of pointless, really. Really, all I use these for is, well, this is now a car phone that lives in my car. I went out to get this from the car for a reason. And after this, I shall put it back in the car. And, well, what do I use these for? Well, this lives in the car for emergencies. If the car breaks down, if there's an accident, something along the lines of that. If I've got some chap trying to attack me, although I'm probably more likely to go for the accelerate faster. If there's someone actually trying to mug me or steal my car, and if they're in front of the car and go under it, well, that's their problem. And then it's this one, which is just used, well, mainly for work contacting me. For work, so I get money, so I can support myself and buy nice things. And to basically provide communication with family and occasionally friends. I do not like these things going off intensively. I can just about handle calls, but the sound quality is so low I cannot stand the sound of my voice over phone, and it's just like often it echoes back. It's like, ugh, I cannot stand calling or communication. And there's one thing that I cannot stand, I refuse to do it, and I shall show you what that is. It is this, texting. The absolute biggest thing for me has to be, number one, the keypad. That is not plausible for writing anything except numbers on. If you want to do text communication, you need one of these and nothing else will suffice. I can just about manage the virtual keyboard on this, and that's only just. Can't stand these one I refuse to text, can't stand it. And then there's the predictive texting, which is on by default. That, well, you type D in and you want, or the, T for the, and it'll put something ridiculous in one. Change it to twat or something. Which means, I'm just sod this and phone them in. If they don't answer, well, sod them. It obviously isn't that important. And And really, aside from the actual technology they run on, the bloody circuit boards, there isn't really anything of interest to me in phones. Although dismantled phones are essentially useless for everything but the battery, a little vibrator motor, and, well, it used to be the LCD screen that was useful. Nope, not anymore. Because it's taken on the microcircuitry connectors like the rest of the thing. So essentially this is just a nice little thing to put up on display when it actually stands up properly. So yeah, I do not like using phones one iota. I pretty much refuse. I am really hard to get hold on phones. But this is the only phone with probably the only real game I ever really liked, if I can remember where they are. I think they're an application, yep. Select game. Oh, sod that. Why do you want date and time there? Good, time and date set. They're not set correctly, but I don't care. And that is Club Pinball, which is basically pinball. The rest of the games are pretty crap. Snake 2 is Snake 2. Snake's like, okay, a classic, basically. They don't even have Space Impact, which was actually quite cool. But there is one worthwhile feature, and probably the only worthwhile feature other than calling someone, that is actually of any use on this thing. And that is this. This didn't grow old from the day I got it. Yeah, you can just about see the phone. We'll put it in front of the power supply. Listen. It's a disco in your pocket. How awesome. That is the only phone with the only decent feature on earth. You can stick as much of this crap on your phone as you like, but you can never beat that. First of all, these things, iPods, they're good for little arcade games and music. I don't really use it for anything else apart from music as an MP3 and for games. The embedded browsers on these, embedded browsers generally are utterly shit. They are so limited that they're just of no use to me. Plus, without a proper keyboard and mouse control, sod it. Touchpad, oh yeah, it definitely beats touchscreen. Plus, for all these things, they look nice in a display cabinet, but when you actually own them, they look like shit because they just end up covered in fingerprints. There's something that should be put in a display cabinet that rotates with a halogen light shining down upon it. Not really anything else. Although this is the iPod, sod having a phone in this. It'll just end up as cast off as these do. And that just lives out in the car for eternity, and this just lives under a pile of dirty washing the majority of the time. There isn't much signal in this building. That can go back out to the car, and that can go back where it lives. So they're a blessing or curse? I reckon they're just something that should be in your car, and then they're a blessing. But actually, someone say people can have contact with you whenever they like? No, that's a sodding curse. No, when I'm in my lair, I like to be in my lair. If I want contact, I will seek it. I don't like it. It's like last night going off when I'm trying to sleep. Oh, so it's just a soft. Lob it into the dirty wash, and hopefully it will shut up, to which it did after the battery kept waking me up 1,000 times. Yeah, they're a curse a lot of the time, but they do have their times when they're useful. When you break down in your car. And until that day happens, mobile phones will continue to be rather useless to me. And of course they're useful for work, but best way to contact me? Email. Best way. I'm more likely to come across one of them. And that is my tag. Phones are a curse unless they live in the car and they're for emergencies. And that is where I end it. Thanks for watching. Also, I have recorded a disclaimer video where I just essentially take the piss out of people who claim. See ya. Also, why the hell do people try and use phones as cameras? The phone cameras are shit, and they haven't really changed much from this quality camera. Oh wow, it's 1 or 2 megapixels, but the lens is so sodding small you can't see a sodding thing. They're okay at best, and they're the ones which actually have some engineering put in.